I hope I'm not going on and on about this, but you know, if you're a first timer and you're installing this for the first time, hopefully you'll appreciate all this information. Now what I could do is hold this up there in place, and then I could take a long scratch awl and put it in there and point it and mark the door jamb. But you know, that's going to be kind of hard to see in there and hold this perfectly straight, because if I don't get it in the center of this hole, you see how it's going to be kind of critical to find out where those marks are. So I know I'm just going to set it on the base anyways, right? So I'm going to measure up from the base, and I see that it's 6 1/4, which is 7/16. 6 7/16 that way. And then from the edge of the door, not the edge of the stile here, the edge of the door over, eyeballing straight up, is 1 1/4 to the center. Okay, so I need to remember that. And if I need to, I can write that down or whatever. Okay, 6 1/2 short. If I say 6 1/2 short, that means a 1/16 under, or I can say 6 7/16, 1 1/4. Okay, now I can take that. I can take that over here, and I can measure that. Because there's the edge where the door is, and basically it's on the edge, and it's over just a hair, remember? So I measure up 6 1/2, 6 1/2 short, right there, 1 1/4 over. I don't have much room left. See, if I wanted to go over a little bit further, if this was a whole trim, I could, because the edge of the door is going to be just inside to the left of that, so I could go over 1 5/16, you know. But see, I'm running out of room for the meat. I think I'm going to keep it right there, and that's where I'm going to drill my first hole. I could take a little scratch awl, or in this case it's an ice pick I got. Okay, and I'm going to drill that hole. And you remember, I'm using 3/16 drill bit, and I've got it stuck out over 2 1/2 inches. And this lag, I know this lag's going to go in there, but it's going to go through the trim. It's going to go through the base. This is the top bit, but see, it's going to be in 1 1/4 first. Then there's only 2 1/2 inches to a little bit more than 2 1/2 sticking out, and that's going to be perfect. So I know I don't have to drill a hole this long, you know. Try to keep it as level as you can and straight. I drill in a little bit and then pull it back out, because then you're cleaning it out as you go. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little bit different on this, because I don't have that tool. Last thing I want to do is drill any more holes or figure out anything else and try to put this in. And if this is going in through a knot or something, or going into something behind there that I can't get this screwed in all the way, then what? How am I going to take it out? So here's my thought. Because I don't have that other tool, I'm first going to drive that in. Well, I'll get right back to you and show you that. Well, it's starting to rain here. See what I can do here. Because I don't have that tool, I'm still going to just try to do this a little bit And see, I'm not going to be able to get this in very far at all without it sliding out. I've got 2 screwdrivers here. Long handle. Let's see what I can do here. Hey, this is going to take forever. Well, here's something else. Got a bigger screwdriver. And this is how I used to have to do it years ago. You would just do a little bit at a time. Now see, what I'm trying to do is first off, see how tight that is? I can take a pair of vice grips on here. And go back and forth on it. And see how tight that is. First off, I think what I'm going to have to do is ream that hole out a little. Okay. I can take this back out, because this is one-way screws. So you got a pair of vice grips. Yes, that would be a must here. Now let's take this. You know that this thing here is not going to work. I'll get my drill bit back in here. I'm going to ream this out a little bit. Just going to take it and kind of wobble it around in there to make it a little bit bigger. I don't want to go up the next size drill bit because it might be too big. Yeah, I don't really like these one-way screws. That's what it comes with. It's already getting hard. Here's another thought you could do, and I've seen people do it. Instead of using these, they go back to the store and they get some lag bolts. Then you can do it with a socket set. Okay. Then you'd have a lag bolt head coming out of here. Then you have to get some white paint, like some touch-up car paint or typewriter fluid, modeling paint, something like that, and then paint the head of it after the fact. And that's what I did on the last one. This one I thought, it'll come with the tool and I can drive it in there. Now if we had the tool, it would probably drive in there just fine. Okay, so I'm gonna work this back and forth. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. I gotta make that hole a little bit bigger. I want to make sure this goes in. I only have to go in 2.5 inches. I don't have to go the whole way. Okay. Wow, what a nuisance. Okay, what I ended up doing is I went up 1 bit size to 1/4 inch, and it's still nice and snug. They tell you 3/16. That's if you've got this little special goodie here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the store and get this because I want to show that to you. Plus, I've got 8 holes to do. Can you imagine? If you didn't have that tool, that's what you got to do. Drill it in, and I've got it 1.25 inches out because of the thickness of that. Okay, so I don't have to tighten it any more than that. And I just did that to make sure I could first off get that in there. And it's snug. That way, that told me I could go up a little bit bigger size drill bit first off. And since I ran this in there, I know next time I put this in, you know, I would still have to put it in by hand with the screwdriver and go and go and go. You're going to be all tired out after that. And that's why I'm putting this in first, because if you can imagine me trying to do this with a 3/16 pilot hole, it would take, there's no way I could get it in there tight. And even if I did and held my mouth just right, what if it doesn't go tight the last 1/4 inch, you know, into my trim, my support bracket? That wouldn't be a very good sight, would it? Then I'd have to take it back out. And the only way you can take out these one-way bolts is with a wrench like this. This is a pair of vice grips. Okay, they even have these smaller than this too. This will come in handy. Then you can tighten it up, you can loosen it up, because even when I get back from the store, I may use some pilot holes and stuff to make sure I'm not going to hit anything, which I don't think I will now that I've tested that out. Okay, so back to the store I go, and I'm going to get this little tool right here. They'll sell these separate, but I wish it would have came with this screen door. Now sometimes it does too, so check that out before you drive all the way home and get ready to do your project. Hey, off to the store I go, but I am not going to let this job defeat me. That's why I want you to watch all my videos and different things, because I can help you along the way. My loss is your gain. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Yes, back from the store. And let me tell you and show you what I got here. Here's this special tool. One-way lag installation tool. Let's see here. See that? That's what I'm talking about. Here's that one-way screw. Okay. And this fits right over it like that. And it's right in the groove. See right there, like that. And then this thing springs over that, like that. And that keeps that from coming off. Okay. You press on there, and that just starts spinning. Once you get it in the right little notch right there, it'll just start turning that. So that was less than $10. Now you can have that forevermore for all the other security screen doors you're going to be installing, right? Yeah. Now, sometimes this tool comes with the screen door, sometimes it doesn't. We talked to the hardware store, and they said, oh, this particular screen door it doesn't come with, but had you have gotten one of the other screen doors, this handy dandy tool would have came with it. And I'm glad they had one. They only had 2 left in the entire store. So if they wouldn't have had this, man, that would have been a bear too. Okay, all kinds of stuff you're learning today. And what else did I get? I thought since I was there, I would get this door sweep. It's this little channel, and it's got a sweep on there. I might install that at the bottom for where this is, because where the ramp is, there might be just enough room to put this on the bottom and then have it sweep up against that. And this is wide enough, like if I had to trim this down to there, I could cut it right off, okay? Wherever one of these ribs are, I could do that. And I don't know if I'm going to install this or not. It came with some screws. They're self-tappers, so I could try that too. Okay, let's keep it going. Now the sun's out too. That gave me a little bit of a break. I can finish this project with you. All right. So now I'm still going to use pilot holes like this. Okay, but I'm going to end up using the 3/16, so I'm going to ream it out just a hair instead of using the 1/4 inch. Okay, I previous set this one at a 1/4 inch, and there's still plenty of meat for the screw threads to hit inside the wood. But I'm going to go ahead and do what the directions say, 3/16. Look at my little handy dandy picture here on the tools again, and it's 3/16, okay, for the drill bit. All right.